Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Sister Keeper Candid Conversations. Today's topic is Thank You, Essential Workers, all leading us into Lyrics of Love, which is coming up this Saturday. I cannot believe how quickly Lyrics of Love showed up on us. But we are ready, we are excited, and all of our artists are ready to show you all of their talents on Saturday. So I cannot wait for you all to join us. Today I have two essential workers who are going to join us for a candid conversation. And we have a special message for our essential workers and a prayer from my cousin Alicia Natalie. I'm going to join Alicia on the line with us now so that she can give us our special message to essential workers and join us in an opening prayer for the show. Good evening,
Hi.
cousin. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me this week.
Absolutely. I am going to turn the screen over to you for now so that you can
Yes,
in a prayer and a special message. Thank you again.
definitely. Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's a very special night tonight. We are talking about essential workers. We are talking about frontline workers. And with everything that we've been doing over the course of the almost 8 weeks now, we start everything with prayer. And this is no different night. So I ask you to just get quiet with me. If it's possible, close your eyes, bow your head. If it's not, just get yourself in a tranquil and allow the Holy Spirit, allow our God to enter into your presence. Heavenly Father, mighty and glorious name, you are indeed the Lord and the Savior. We come to you this afternoon. We come to you together, joining our voices, not in religion, but by faith. It doesn't matter whether we call you Allah, Krishna, Buddha, or whatever else. Some of us call you Daddy, some of us call you Jesus. In this moment, we come together and we say thank you. We say thank you for blessing us with our daily life. Thank you for the gift of being able to open our eyes to see another day. Thank you for the sunshine, for the rain. Thank you, especially this evening, for all of the essential workers, not just in the United States, but around the world. Everyone who has been going on the front line day in, day out to bridge that gap between people who are needing to be at home and being safe and people who are needing to be taken care of. We thank you for the many situations. We thank you for the many doctors, for the many medications, for the people who are working hard and hours countless through the supermarkets, through postal service, and varying other positions who are making sure that our daily lives are still in a position of some sort of normalcy. We thank you for their families. We thank you for their friends who are giving them courage to move on. In this moment, as we pause for a moment to allow your presence to be felt no matter where we are, we take this moment to say thank you for blessing us with your love, for blessing us with your light, for giving us the courage to move through our days, even the days when we are feeling the hardest hit. We say thank you. In this moment, we pray that your will be done, that your will be seen and heard from nation to nation, from generation to generation, from house to house, from computer screen to computer screen. In this moment, this afternoon, during this platform of My Sister's Keeper, we pray that your love and your light will be extended through everything we discuss this evening, and that people will leave this evening show feeling a sense of hope, feeling a sense of love, feeling a sense of peace. For everything that we are about to step into this evening is not by our order or by our intention. It is 100% by your will and your move. For all the people who are joining us this evening to share their story, we ask that you especially bless them, that you will touch them, that you will allow your words to be transparent within the message that they share this evening. We pray that this blessing is able to extend to each and everyone who is able to join us live, to each and everyone who is able to log on even after it's live, that you will let them know that you are there with them. And this moment, within this in COVID-19 is but a mere season within the journey of this blessed thing we call life. We place this before you. We place our needs before you. We say thank you. Amen. So we start off everything with a prayer, and it's really my pleasure to be able to open up a little segment here this afternoon, Nadia. I'm thankful so much. And my message this evening, I really don't want you to leave because I think it's important for us to share this. Um, Saying thank you for our frontline workers is really something very special because we have been in a position where we have been really looking a lot at our nurses and our doctors, and it's not to trivialize the extent of which they are holding quite a brunt of what we've been facing. But I want to shift a little bit this afternoon, and I want to pay attention and I want to recognize people like our garbage collectors, our postal workers,
Yeah.
our janitors, the janitors at these very hospitals that we're in and out. I want to recognize our spiritual leaders who have to perform these funerals for people who are not allowed to have family members there. I
Yeah.
want to recognize and say thank you to our gardeners. If you live in an apartment complex, your maintenance staff is still working and they still have to come into your home. They still have to come and make sure the grass is cut and everything is together. So I want to pay respects and say thank you to our bus drivers, our Uber drivers,
Yeah.
our supermarket workers. Man, our supermarket workers, I really want to take a moment to say thank you to our airline hostesses and our pilots. We are not thinking of them. I want to say thank you to the industrial workers who are still out there, who having to produce and now double and triple produce on hand sanitizers and produce on making sure we have our meats and our produce, our chickens, our eggs. Thank you. These
Thank
guys are still out there having to head into work at the crack of dawn. Our truck drivers, man, our truck drivers. Okay, these are people who are out there every day. And I really want to bring light and say a big thank you. Again, not trivializing our nurses and our doctors, our chemists, our pharmacists, not trivializing them, but I really want to recognize these guys. We have also been talking a lot about teachers who have been going above and beyond. And I know after in the next couple of weeks, we're going to figure something out to do for teachers because, being a mom too of a special needs kid,
you.
my both daughters have special needs. I have to give even extra kudos to
Mhm.
parents and extra kudos to teachers and the administrative staff, period, for the above and extremely beyond service that they've been giving, their patience,
Right.
their
How
patience,
thankful we are for those teachers with patience and
right?
our kids, right? Yep.
Yes, yes, and I really want to say thank you to them. My part of my message, I want to remind people that I said it in my prayer. It's very important for us to understand that COVID is but a season. And when you have a season in life, a season is usually there to either plant or to grow.
Hmm.
So you have to decide. Last week on a class on a session that I did, I told the session I was like, at the end of this, are you going to come out as a divorcee or are you going to come out as a new parent? Are you going to give birth to something new? And listen, I really want to give birth. Okay.
Right.
Know that I'm going to have to divorce some things. And it's important for us to break ties and to be ended, end off some stuff. We have a lot of people, as a couple states are beginning to reopen, we have a lot of people, you hear people talking about going back to normal and, getting things back on track. Guys, you don't want that. Trust me. You don't want to go back to normal. That normal that we were stuck in was a very unhealthy normal for all of us, you
Hmm.
know, and it was very unhealthy for our planet. Our planet is now healing itself. Let us be an aid to continue to let our planet heal itself. Let us also continue to be able to reach out to each other like we have never done before. We are communicating verbally, not
Right.
just text. We are communicating verbally much more than we've ever done in years. We need to maintain that level of humanness that we lost years ago with the introduction of cell phones, with the introduction of this fast paced and instant life. So now we need to continue on that go forward move, that step we're making in what I believe is the right direction for us to be not just fast paced living, but to be alive living. You stop and you smell the flowers now. You appreciate seeing a beautiful flower growing. You appreciate cooking a meal. You appreciate sharing a meal with family and friends. You know, before we were so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, you didn't even think, I don't have time to meet for dinner with you. And now I'm hearing of people cooking a meal and sharing it and then meeting up via Zoom for dinner together. That's
And not
beautiful.
just cooking a meal, they're making it exquisite.
Yes,
Right.
you know. And we spoke about game night virtually. These are little things that allow us to control the balance of the stress in our life, to smile a little bit more. It doesn't mean that life is perfect and life is easy. No, it just means that your body is able to replenish itself a little bit more with some more smile and some more positive energy. And that is something I'm really hoping that people hold on to when this takes us into the next season. You know, don't be so quick to say, I want to revert to what we had. What we had was not healthy. We are now seeing so many more people creating their own home gardens. Having a
Mm-hmm.
home garden is good. That's not a bad thing. You're seeing more people interacting with their children on a more personal relationship level. This period of COVID has taught us the importance of relationship, the importance of relationship, the relationship with yourself. How do you handle when things come upon you unexpectedly? The relationship with your spouse and your significant other. How do you tolerate dealing with situations like this? How do you manage your time when you have to see each other 24/7? You know, it allowed you to see your relationship with your children, with your parents, with your in laws, with your friends. It brought your relationship with the God that you serve to life. So many more people now are aware how important it is to have a relationship with a higher being. And as I said this evening, I'm not one on religion, and I'm one about faith. The older I get, the more that is important to me that people understand we have one God. And it really doesn't matter what you call him. Serve him,
Right.
believe in him, allow your relationship to develop with him through him,
Mm-hmm.
and your days will be so much brighter. We want to be able to leave this COVID time and be able to say, because of COVID, I am this much better. I
Mm.
learned this. I was able to do that. I did bruise my knee. I did fall. I did cry. I did have my weak moments, but I got
Right.
up. And as my sister's keepers, because of my sister's keepers, we have a village of strong women who,
Yes.
even on a weekday, will come together and show each other love. We are now looking forward to a Wednesday night when we
Right.
can get not only information, but we can smile and share with each other. We can correspond with each other on a level we weren't doing before.
Right.
And if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think we would have paid attention to my sister's keeper as much as we are now.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's keeper has been bringing out and highlighting women from varying walks of life, showing you that number one, you're not alone. And
Yes.
number two, you can do it. And number three, if you're feeling weak that you can't do it, we're here to help you.
Right.
We're here to help you. You know, I love that in the midst of the tragedies, in the midst of the many days of trials, especially in the beginning, we are now settling ourselves into we've got this. I can breathe. This is something I can tolerate. But let us not get too comfortable
Mhm.
and think, hey, all right, let me go back to what I was doing when this is over. Maintain eating healthy. Maintain not rushing and having the line extra long for the Popeyes chicken. Go home and cook something. You know, you can have the Popeyes every once in a while. I like me a good Popeyes now and then, you
Right.
know. But have a good home cooked Sunday meal.
Mhm.
Make it yourself. Include your children. Put on your music and dance.
Mhm.
Lyrics of Love is coming up on Saturday, and I'm so excited about it. I look forward to all the performers that we'll be having. And it's a night where we'll be showing our thanks, our love through music, through word, through song, through drama. It'll be all. And of
Yes.
course, you will get words of wisdom from many messages that we'll be having playing throughout the night. So if
Mhm.
you're listening now, we're 16 minutes into the show. If you're listening now, it's early enough. Tag someone, have them jump in, join my sister's keeper, listen to the show tonight. There are two amazing guest speakers this evening. And I don't want you to not pay attention to their message. You got to step in, you got to hear them because their message is one where we really, at the end of it, and even during their conversation, you want to stop and say thank you to them. You
Mhm.
want to stop and say thank you to them. You will be surprised at what they say. And if you know someone who is a frontline worker, your pastor at your church, your ministers, your deacons, there are several people. It may be a person in your neighborhood who is
Mhm.
doing something extra. They've been walking around and doing something extra. I encourage you to give them a card this week, something simple that says thank you. Something simple that says thank you. Jot them a note. Your garbage collectors, leave a bottle of Coke, leave a bottle of water on top of your trash with a little bow and just say thank you. You would be surprised. A thing with some candy or some mints. You would be surprised how that little gesture makes a huge difference. You
Mhm.
your maintenance workers that you see, the supermarket workers. There is a lady that I see at the store. This lady makes me smile every time I go in there. And I saw her, these guys are working hard. They have their own families to go home and do stuff with.
Right.
And they're dealing with stuff just the same way we are. So
Right.
when you stop to pause and say, hey, thank you, and they look at you, what are you for what? Thank you.
Right.
You know,
Are used to it. They're not
they're not. They're not. And it's not even you're giving them anything, just that
the
simple,
words.
yes, those words that they look at you like, oh my God, no, somebody hasn't said that to me in like
A
forever.
long right.
You know,
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
power of words, so thank you. That's my message. The power of words. Do not take this time for granted. This is
Mhm.
simply a season, and we want to take this season and multiply it. We want to come out of this birthing something good,
Yes.
and getting rid and divorcing the things that won't good for us. So hold on to the positive, let go of the negative, continue to smile, and allow your love that you have within you. We all have it. It's free, you know.
Mhm.
Give it with a smile and a warm heart. And anyone that you meet, saying thank you does not cost you anything. Say thank you a little bit
Mhm.
more.
Thank you so much, cousin,
Yeah,
for joining me this evening. I appreciate you so much, and I hope
yeah,
you have a blessed evening.
I will. Thank you.
So we heard from Alicia and Natalie, opening our eyes to other essential workers who that we need to say thank you to. She gave us examples of how we can give back and say thank you to them on a regular basis, leaving a bottle of water, a candy cup, something out there for them so that they understand that we appreciate everything that they are doing. So I want to thank my cousin for allowing us to open our eyes to other essential workers. And this is why Lyrics of Love is so important because we are going to be saying thank you to each one of these essential workers that we run across. So if you're looking at the live stream right now and you know of an essential worker, and Alicia gave you guys all the categories of an essential worker, literally everyone who's getting up every morning and going out to do work, they are considered an essential worker. I want you to tag them in this live video so that they can come on and we can say thank you to them. Okay? So I want to jump into my first guest. My first guest is Denise Patterson. She is an airline hostess, and we want to have a candid conversation with her to talk about what has been going on in her world as an airline hostess and what has she been doing since COVID-19. So I want you all to welcome Denise Patterson to the show with me. Good evening, Denise. How are you?
I am well. How are you? And thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. It is so good to see you. So, can you tell me how long have you been an airline hostess and
Oh,
what made you decide to be an airline hostess?
well, the strange thing is, my mother reminded me because at a very young age, it was one of my dreams to become a flight attendant. But when you're young and life happens, you forget all those things. And then it just happened, the opportunity presented itself after going to school. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of corporate America. Let me do something that I wanted to do. And I applied to become a flight attendant, and I was successful. And I am a flight attendant today. Only 2 years, almost 2 years.
2 years. Wonderful, wonderful. Can you tell me what impact did COVID-19 have on you and your job?
Unfortunately, we have had fewer flights, and the flights that we do have, we may have maybe a 70 people book, and by the time they board the plane, it might be 53. So the flight count has reduced significantly. There are fewer flights. There have been lots of flight cancellations. And when there's flight cancellations and fewer flights, of course, being a flight attendant, we only get paid per flight hours. So when there's no flights, we don't get paid, and we don't have that substantial amount of finances coming in, and our paychecks reflect the effects of COVID-19. But at the same time, I always say it could be worse. So it's just a matter of time. This is something that we just have to go through. So I say it's not permanent, and you just make the best of it. When they call you to fly, you fly. If you don't fly, you just keep yourself occupied. That's the important thing. You have to keep yourself occupied, or you will allow this COVID to mentally negatively affect you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I didn't realize that you all are paid per flight that you take.
Yes.
So if you're not taking these flights, it's impacting your paycheck.
Yes, and a lot of people don't know, but when we get paid from the time the cabin door is closed. We taxi out, that's when our money starts to add up. Then when the flight lands and we reach to that jet bridge, that's when our paycheck stops. So
Mhm.
if we have delays, a lot of passengers will be complaining, oh, we have this delay. How long is this delay going to be? At least you are getting to your location. For us, the longer we stay on the ground, the less our salary is going to be.
Wow.
That's something that a lot of people don't know.
Exactly. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. Wow. Interesting. So we do not need any delays when it comes to
exactly. We don't,
right?
right?
Right. Do you have any coworkers who have gotten sick by just coming to work? And can you share a story with us?
Um, but fortunately, no, we haven't had anyone, but we have had a close situation where we had one of our flight attendants. She was going to one of the other states to pick up cruise ship employees to bring them back to their home. And
Mhm.
even though they got the clearance that all the employees went through quarantine, everybody was negative. Later that time period, they found out that one of the cruise ship employees was sick. and they tested positive. But fortunately for her and the rest of the crew,
Mhm.
everyone was negative. So that is the closest, but thankfully, no one has been affected by the coronavirus, which is a fortunate thing. We take a lot of precautions. We have our own mask. We bring gloves on just in case, and then the flight always have cleaning products in on the cabin. So we always clean, even though we have the cleaners to clean. We double times clean because we are there. We are literally there. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, at least you guys are being supplied with the essential items needed to take a flight, as far as cleaning supplies, gloves, masks, because we know those things are needed right now for you guys to take your flights. So I am happy to hear that those are the things that are being provided to you all right now.
Yes. Yes. But I will say this. Um, Even though it's COVID-19, and I know we are, and this is a candid conversation, we would love that passengers take more precautions in personal hygiene on the plane, because even though we have COVID-19 going on, we see a lot of passengers using the bathrooms and they are still not washing their hands. Some might have gloves on, and then when they come up from the bathroom, they don't change the gloves. Some might go to the bathroom bare feet. So we still have little issues with passengers who do not practice personal hygiene, even though this is the height of COVID-19.
Right. I was going to ask you, what are some tips and advice that you can give us on my viewers on what can we do to stay safe on the flight and make
Mhm.
sure that we are not spreading these germs?
Always wear a mask. You're not only protecting us, you're protecting yourself. Wear a mask. Wear gloves. If you have to wear gloves, wear gloves. We stress on it. Keep hand sanitizers in your on your person. You Even though you use the bathroom, you use the pump to wash your hands. Remember, everybody's hands are going on that pump head. Wash your hands. You're touching the toilet door handle. Everybody's hands are on that toilet door handle. When you
Mhm.
return to your seat, use the hand sanitizer to complete the cleansing process.
Mhm.
Be diligent, be watchful, but always practice proper hygiene. This should not have happened with COVID-19. This should be something that should be been doing maybe from as a child. But all of a sudden, COVID-19 and everybody is becoming clean, they're cleaning their house and they're washing their hands. You should be doing this long before that. Come on.
Long before that, right? We really didn't need COVID-19 to come in to say, hey guys, remember to wash your hands. I mean, I know
Mhm.
now, I believe I wash my hands more frequently since this has happened. But we should have been, as diligently hygienic as possible, especially when taking flights.
Exactly. And then people don't realize that even though we have cleaners, the plane is a very dirty environment. It is. We have accidents. We have children. Children may vomit. Some of them may become sick. We have people who vomit. We have had medical emergencies where stuff has happened. Yes, it may be clean, but please use extra precaution, especially during the COVID. Wash your hands, put a mask on, and just be mindful with your members. If you are sick, please stay home. Do not fly, because not only is it unhygienic, depending on your illness, it can become a medical emergency for us. And that's another step that we have to take. And we can become exposed to your illness. So please stay home.
Right, and I'm sure if we call the airline and we say, I am really not feeling well today, they will be able to put us on another flight at a later time, things of
Yes.
that nature. Especially now, being precautious is better than not missing that flight and taking the flight and getting the whole entire plane sick. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I know that's an important thing right now. You know.
Hmm.
It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you and for you giving us, I want to thank you for giving us all of the tips that we are going to need when getting ready to go take a flight later on. I know a couple of states are going to start opening up, so we all may try to take a flight right now. I remember
Mm.
the day you sent a video of the airport just looking like a ghost town. Like I've never seen the airport look like a ghost town before. But we want to be safe, so that is for sure. You know, can you leave our viewers with a word of advice and encouragement coming from your air hostess world? And as my viewers are listening to you, I want you all to say thank you to Denise for coming on the show to give and giving us her side of her story. So as she's giving her closing remarks, please in the comment section just say thank you and show her some love.
Okay. Thank you so much. But what I would say with the states slowly, different states slowly opening, this is not the time for us to become lax or lackadaisical. We still have to practice social distancing, personal hygiene, common sense. People, please use common sense. Cover up. It's oh, cover up. There's disposable masks. There's people making a lot of masks. There's even places that is giving masks for free. Please, please, please. This is not the time to become lax. It's not the time to become lackadaisical. Be mindful of your environment. If you are not careful, if you are selfish towards your health, be selfless to somebody else. You are among so many people. Some people may have underlying issues. Be mindful of them, the elderly, the children, whoever you are. Because even though you might say, okay, you don't have the illness, whoever you are living with, there's a possibility that you can bring that virus to them. So even though these states are opening up, just be mindful and just basic common sense. That's my message.
Be mindful, stay hygienic. Give me slides. I love your message, and I want to thank you so much for joining my Sister Keeper Candid Conversations. And you are going to be receiving one of our care packages coming from Lyrics of Love. So I want you to look out for that. I want to make sure that each one of our essential workers know that they are appreciated and they are loved, and that I mean, I can't even say thank you enough. Like every time I talk to an essential worker, I have to say thank you. So I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I want to thank you for being an essential worker. And hopefully after COVID-19, we're still practicing proper hygiene when we are taking our flights to another destination.
Please, I would love that. I would absolutely love it. We applaud whenever we see someone come out the bathroom and their hands are wet. We are so happy to see stuff like that. So yeah,
You'll be more than happy to hand me the napkin, right? To say, okay, you can throw your hands in this because I know you washed your hands coming out of that bathroom. So yeah,
yes,
so it's okay to come out the bathroom not with dripping hands. Like, can I just get it? Sure,
we will.
I'll give that to
Yes, we
you with a
will
smile.
give you the
You will
napkin.
probably give it to us with a smile, right?
Yes, 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 and encourage your children to do the same because we have seen parents go to the bathroom, not wash their hands, and the children are following too. Please encourage your children to do the same.
Right, right. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show today. 15 minutes goes by so quick when you're having fun. But I want to thank you for coming on the show. Yes, I know, right? In virtual land, it goes by quick. So I want to thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining today.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we want to thank Denise from being an air hostess, and she taught us about being hygienic when we start taking these flights again. And from the words from her, she's saying she is thankful that you guys will wash your hands coming out of the bathroom, okay, and making sure that you wear your mask. So I want to definitely thank her for her message this afternoon. Next, I want to go into Chiquita. She is working in the emergency room, and I know she is seeing so much. So I want her to come and have a candid conversation with us to talk about what she's seen in the emergency room and some tips that she can give us to prevent us from coming into the emergency room to see her. So I would like to welcome to the show Miss Chiquita. How are you?
Hi, good evening, everybody.
How are you this evening?
I am tired. I actually worked today, so I'm like looking right now, but
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. No COVID over here, but I'm good.
But this is the candid side of our conversation, right? This is your reality.
Yeah,
You
it's
home.
training. I'm home. Thank God. Thank God.
Right. But it's
So,
definitely a draining situation.
yeah, it is. It
So
is.
can you tell us how long have you been working in the emergency room and what exactly is your role?
So I've been working in the hospital. I've been working in healthcare for a while, but I've been working in the actual emergency room for a year now.
Okay.
And I'm a patient service coordinator. So I go around and I register patients in their rooms. We collect bill payments. We also check patients into the emergency room when they come. So
Mhm.
we have a lot of dual responsibilities in the department that I'm in. So we get to go here and there, but we still have a lot of patient contact throughout our day when we're at work. So
Right.
yeah.
Now, I know some of the patients, or most of the patients that come into the emergency room,
Hmm.
unfortunately, their family members are not able to stay with them during
Yeah.
the process, during the time that they're in there. How are you helping these patients, kind of stay a little bit calm? Because normally in the emergency room, you want a family member at least there with you. So
Yeah.
are, are you becoming that support system for that patient?
We actually are. I mean, a lot of people have tuned in to like the news and certain stations that specify staying away from hospital settings if you're not extremely ill, if you're not dealing with COVID. So some of the patients that come in with their loved ones, they understand that they can't stay. But then you have some that are just so nervous and anxious about what's going on that they are afraid to be there by themselves.
Mhm.
Especially the ones that come there that think that they do have it. They want to have their family there, and their family actually wants to be there, which is
Mhm.
weird. And I say it's weird, not in a unempathetic way, but it's just like for me, I know like I don't want none of my family, none of my friends there at all, you know. So it's like my mom took me to the hospital a couple weeks ago and she just dropped me off at the door and
Right.
said, call me when you're done. You know, like it's just like you gotta kind of be wise about it. But I get that you want to be there with your family, but it's really not the place for it.
Right.
So
Right.
we have to console them and comfort them and just let them know, like, okay, you can get a number. We do issue out numbers to give to the family members. They can call anytime, and they'll get directed straight to their loved one's nurse who will be charging them throughout their stay, making sure they get updates and briefings on if they're going to be kept in a hospital.
Mhm.
So we do give that to them. But as far as with them coming back into the ED and going back into the rooms, we just can't really allow it. So,
Right.
yeah.
Because I'm sure there's not enough space really for.
Well, we have the space, but it's just a matter of the virus because it's you can't see it, and it's just like it's airborne. So if someone comes there and they are positive, like you can't be in that room because if you're in that room, then there's a possibility, or you might even have already been infected by it. You just might be asymptomatic.
Right.
So we have negative air pressure rooms in the ED where when you're in there, whatever's in there, whatever coughing you do, anything stays in that room. So when they open the room up, it doesn't come out and expose the workers that are
Now.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
but there are only a couple of rooms like that, but mostly all the COVID patient they go into those rooms.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm sure the doctors and nurses to go in there masked up and
Yeah.
fully.
It's looking like Star Wars, and in the ED, it's looking like straight up Star Wars. It's looking real space up in there. Like them
Wow.
nurses, them doctors are not playing around, but they do what they have to do, and everybody is maxed up, N95'd up,
Right.
gloved up,
Right.
sink washing. It's yeah,
Yeah, and they're ready. And
it's a
they're
big
prepared.
deal.
I'm glad to
Yeah,
know that, and especially talking to Denise as well, that you all have the supplies that you all need right now. I know that was an issue in the beginning, that at least you guys have some masks, your gloves, and you all are staying protected because again, you have your
yeah,
family to go home to at the end of the day, and you don't want to take
exactly.
anything from the emergency room to your family. So you have to be
Yeah.
as safe as possible. Now, from watching the news, there's so many signs and symptoms that people say, if you cough, you have COVID. If you sneeze, you got COVID. So,
Mhm.
can you tell us just about a top 5 things to look out for when we are at home? And then, if you can expand on when should we go to the emergency room? Like, okay, once this happens, head to the emergency room.
Yeah. Okay. So the top 5, it's not really that many, but the most major ones is fever. Fever of not a low grade, not like a 99.9, but we're talking about 102, 103. We've had a 104 come in, and it's untamable. You do the Motrin and Tylenol. If that doesn't knock it out, then that's something that you want to be concerned about. The second one is shortness of breath. That's a big one because when you have COVID, and I'm no doctor, but I just know from hearing and what I see, it when it gets to its worst stage, it goes into your lungs, and that's when it causes the pneumonia. So
Mm,
when you have COVID, it can turn into pneumonia if it gets to that point with you. Everybody, it goes to different people and it affects them differently. So not everybody has a shortness of breath. Mostly everybody has the fever that's untamable, the weakness, the fatigue, the body pain. It resembles the flu, but it's like 10 times worse. The cough is horrible. Like it sounds like you're coughing up a lung or two. Like
mhm,
the patients that come to the ED, like their cough is really, really bad and it's dry. And also, you want to pay attention to your mucus. The mucus with COVID is very, very thick. So that's why you're coughing so much, because a lot of people that have had it or that I've talked to that has it say that it's so thick that it's hard to get up. And so that's pretty major. So you want to look out for fever of 102 and higher, that's unmanageable, the
mhm,
body pain, the cough, and the shortness of breath. Chest pain too, that's a big one. So just be mindful of those things. And honestly, I'm like this. If you feel within yourself that you're not feeling well, whether you have shortness of breath or not, come, because
right,
you know your body, you know when something's not right, and you can't allow the doctors or anyone that's telling us on the TV, will wait 14 days or this. Like if you're feeling like you need to come get checked out, come get
mhm,
checked out, because it's been a lot of people that's been abiding by that 14-day rule, and they don't even make it to come back.
mm,
It's really that serious. Like this virus is really, it's taking a lot of people's lives. And a lot of us in our culture, we're kind of ignorant to it, or I'm black, I can't get it, or you
right,
can't see it, so you still move like it's not there. And it really is there. Like
right,
it's the sight to see when you're actually working in the hospital, how so many patients come in of all ages, of all cultures, because now it's turning to not just, at first they was focusing on us, being
right,
black and underlying health issues and that being a reason. But You're seeing so many Latino and Hispanics coming in. And that's been a big one because of how they live. You know, they live some in no disrespect to anyone
Right.
Latino or Hispanic, but most of the times they live in homes that have
Close knit.
or very close
Right.
knit. And so they have essential workers that go out and work. Now
Mm-hmm.
other people come into the ED sick.
Mm-hmm.
We had a patient that came and checked in, and she said all of her house was quarantined because, you know, one person had it and now she's there. So it's a scary situation, you know. I mean, so just because we can't see it, it's there. So
Mm-hmm.
what the guidelines that the governors and, you know, our federal government has in place for us, it's important that we abide by them. Don't be ignorant to it. Don't think because, you know, you can't see it that you just don't wear your mask or you don't wash your hands or practice social distancing. Like those things are monumental to how we can get this thing, just put our foot on the neck of it, because
Yes.
we have a long road ahead with it. They still have to figure out clinical trials and um, you know, studies and vaccines. So
Mm.
this is just the beginning of what we're dealing with. So
Right, right. I'm glad you mentioned and said, you know, not because we cannot see it doesn't mean that it's not there.
yeah,
Or you may be someone who it probably hasn't hit someone close to home yet. So
yeah,
you're like, oh, I don't think it's really that serious. Don't wait until it hits home to start to make it something serious that you think about and that you are, you know, conscious about.
mm-hmm.
That would be a great message for sure. So I want to thank you, of course, for joining the show this evening to give us your advice. And I want to give you a few moments, of course, to say message to our viewers, some encouraging message to our viewers. And again, what can we do on a daily basis to not have to come to the ER to see you and your counterparts because you guys are extremely, extremely busy.
Yeah.
What can we do on our daily basis? And again, if you guys are watching right now as Chaketa is giving her closing remarks, I want you all to say thank you to her for her amazing job that she is doing in the emergency room. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Chaketa.
Oh, okay. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm sorry.
I know you're tired.
Okay, what can I say? I mean, I think all of the ladies before me have actually touched on a lot of important factors with what we're dealing with right now during this pandemic. Um, Continue to practice social distancing, continue to wash your hands. I'm not quite sure why that's been an issue or why that is a major thing, because we really should have been washing our hands in the beginning of all this, of all times when we were kids, but I guess it's a big issue for some people to not wash their hands. So continue to wash your hands. Continue your mask. The mask thing is very important. Also, if you're wearing a surgical mask, make sure that you have the mask on properly. With the surgical mask, there is like a metal flexible piece on the top part that goes over your nose. Make sure that is over your nose. And when you put it over your nose, kind of pinch your nose a little bit just so that you can seal in whatever's trying to come in or whatever might be trying to come in. Social distancing again, now that they're getting ready to start to open us back up in the state of Maryland, just please be mindful of where you are at all times. Not that you want to be super, super like scared of anybody that's coughing, but you want to be mindful that you're not just sitting around it. What else? I think that's it. I mean, everybody touched on a lot of things. If you come to the ED, make sure you come with yourself. Please let your family members know that they cannot stay. Even if you are a little bit nervous and afraid, you don't have to be afraid. When you come to the hospital, everyone's prepared to take you on, to take care of you, to notify your family members if anything important they need to know about what's going on with you. Lastly, I want you guys to tune in on this Saturday, May 9th, for the Lyric of Love fundraising concert. All proceeds will be going to care packages to essential workers. There will be a lot of amazing talent that will be displayed on this coming Saturday. So please tune in. I'll be at work. So I'm super, super sad that I will be missing it. But I know it's going to be amazing, Nadia. And I thank you so much to my Sister's Keeper for having me here tonight. And God bless you all. Stay protected. Stay prayed up. Put fear under your feet and walk in faith and hope that we're going to get through this. We're all in this together, even though we're essential workers, but we're all in this together and we're all combating to make sure that we put COVID under our feet. So thank you guys. Love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chaketa. You have a blessed evening. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
So we heard from Chaketa, who works in the emergency room doing registration for our patients. And she left us some great information on knowing when to go to the emergency room and knowing that, you know, family members can't go all the way to the back of the room with you. So you want to be able to use all protective measures as you are, you know, in the public. You know, wash your hands, wear your mask, do all the things that we need to do to stay safe. And I love what Chaketa said in putting our faith underneath our feet and walking without fear. Powerful, powerful message, trying to walk without fear. So I definitely want to thank our two guests for being on the show and for my cousin Alicia for giving us our special message and a prayer for our frontline workers. We want to definitely thank them for joining my Sister Keeper Candid Conversations this evening. I want to pause for a moment, of course, to talk about Lyrics of Love. I know I have had so many inbox messages asking me, how do I get to know about Lyrics of Love? How do I participate? What can I do? So right now I am filled with artists to perform for you on Saturday. But what you can do is share the information, share the event. There's an event on Facebook called Lyrics of Love. Just go onto the event and invite all of your friends and family to join on Saturday. The show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to go for about 2 hours because we have about 10 artists that we will have performing for you. They are pouring their hearts into this event, and I want it to be as successful as possible. The proceeds from this fundraising event helps me make care packages for the frontline workers, and we have partnered up with a couple of hospitals and nursing homes and different facilities to drop off some care packages. And I want to drop off as many care packages as possible to show our thanks to our essential workers. And like Alicia told us, making sure that we on a daily basis are saying thank you to an essential worker. It's very important right now that they know that we thank them, we love and cherish them, and we really couldn't do all the things that we're doing on today without them. So we definitely want to make sure and we thank them in a special way. If you would like to donate to the event, there will be a link provided on Saturday that you will click on in order to make a donation towards making these care packages. Again, it can be $1, it can be $5. Everything helps and everything matters. I will let you all know by the 10th what we were able to raise together. Again, I can't do this without your help. So I want to thank you in advance for supporting Lyrics of Love. And I will let you know on the 10th how did we do. And then, of course, after that, I will be sharing pictures and information about all the care packages that we were able to deliver to all of our essential workers. I have been listening to a couple of the artists that sent me some of their work that they're going to be performing. And I had to hold a whole box of tissue next to me because some of them have literally made their own song. They wrote a whole song on COVID-19 and essential workers. So I really cannot wait for you guys to hear all of the lyrics that's coming from all of these artists. There's artists from Trinidad, Jamaica, Africa. I'm taking you all around the globe. And we are all coming together to make this event successful. And in order for me to make it as successful as it can be, I need your help in getting there. Okay. And again, in order for you to participate in the event, you can make a donation on Saturday. There's a link that's going to be shared. And you can go to Facebook and look up the event Lyrics of Love and invite your friends to come. And most importantly, you can go onto my website, www.mysisterkeeper.biz, and register today for free. On the morning of the event, I will be sending out information about the event as a reminder. So you will get your reminder. That is the purpose of registering for the event, so that you can get your reminder and get all the links that you need to see the event. The event is going to be on Facebook Live on the My Sister Keeper page. So make sure you like the page so that you can get a notification for when the event starts. And it's also going to be on YouTube as well. We have our YouTube channel, and I want to say thank you all so much. I am at 100 subscribers, so I was able to customize the YouTube link to My Sister Keeper, and I'm going to be providing all of those links on Saturday through email and on Facebook so that you can catch the show. I want to thank you all for supporting My Sister Keeper. I work with some phenomenal ladies who do amazing things within the community, and now I'm starting to work with artists who are doing amazing things in the community. And we're planning a next event, so you never know what else we have up our sleeves. But let's get through Lyrics of Love first. Let's make this event successful. Let's make some care packages for our frontline workers, our essential workers, and let them feel some love. So I thank you all in advance for tuning in every Wednesday to My Sister Keeper Candid Conversations and being interactive with me and my guests. We thank you so much, and I hope you all have a blessed evening. I'm going to end the show today with a song that was shared with me over the weekend. And I said, oh, I have to play this song, at least parts of the song on my show today. It is a song entitled We Can Do It. It was all these artists coming together from the Caribbean islands. And they came together and made this beautiful melody. So I want to thank you all for watching the show, and I hope you enjoy the song. Of course, it has a Caribbean flavor. I had to give you a little Caribbean flavor at the end. And enjoy the song, and I will see you next Wednesday for Candid Conversations, but I hope I see each and every one of you on Saturday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Lyrics of Love. You guys have a wonderful, blessed evening. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the video that I'm going to play for you at the end of our show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I make it. Ooh. You know, I've no other choice but to be strong.
We're gonna make it.
I am a voice of hope, and I just wanna let you know that I believe in our strength as a people and the promise of a bright tomorrow.
And I want you to believe and trust.
And nobody's watching over us, and I believe if we all come together now, everything will be alright.
We only press on.
Strengthen the bond and the ties among this generation.
Unite and be one. The fight will be won.
Come on, Caribbean.
Don't worry about the circumstances. It's just about the fears and the madness. Together we will take our chance at life and conquer it. Don't worry about the circumstances. It's just about the fears and the madness. Together we will take our chance at life. 'Cause we got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. Caribbean people, we got this.
We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this.